the Season 11 Global Pokemon Society Draft League. This time we got the Seattle Shiny Sylveons versus the Midvalley Meowths. And we have a Tinkaton Vikavolt lead here, which immediately Terra electrics and goes for the Energy Ball. I don't know if Midvalley was predicting a switch there, but not very effective on the Energy Ball. And that Assault Vest gets knocked off, and Thunderbolt does a little over half, thanks for the Terra boost. Here comes Great Tusk, which will be immune to the Thunderbolt and outspeed it, but not quite enough to take out the Vikavolt from that range. Energy Ball will take out that Great Tusk, but Vikavolt is now in a position where it can't really switch because it'll die upon entry of rocks. So now the Tentacruel will set up a Rapid Spin, getting the knockout and a speed boost. Could we potentially see a Tentacruel snowball out of control here? Here comes the Terra Ground, but it does not look like it's going to do that much to the Gambit. Must be some decent special bulk in that King Gambit. Possibly. We see a Swords Dance being set up in its face, and here comes a Sucker Punch, not quite dealing enough Rocky Helmet damage, and Terra Blast, or Terra Ground, Terra Blast will be enough to take out the King Gambit. Tentacruel getting 2 KOs now. Looks like Tentacruel is also going for the Toxic Spikes too. Wasn't really expecting Toxic Spikes on what appeared to be a offensive, potentially Tentacruel, but I could be wrong also. It could have just been Rapid Spin support, excuse me, not necessarily for a speed boost. So now we got Umbreon, who has put in a lot of work this particular season. He's actually in our top 10 kill leaders currently. We are actually this particular recording is a little delayed. We're actually currently in week 7, but due to the hurricanes in Florida, it sort of delayed my ability to get these recordings and be able to narrate over them. So that is why we're slightly behind. But yeah, Umbreon, as it stands right now, is currently in our top 10 kill leaders, despite being a tanky support Pokemon. So I'll say, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Umbreon, best evolution, can at me. But here comes Gouging Fire, which gets the defense boost on the Photosynthesis. So looking at a little bit of a tanky Dragon Dance setter on the Gouging Fire. But it looks like that Umbreon is going to be able to sort of wall out the Gouging Fire with Toxic. Or it'll go down to its own Flare Blitz recoil, which is cool too. I would have expected Heat Crash on a more defensive Dragon Dance setup sweeper, but more power to you. So now we're looking at... oh, actually, no. He probably got poisoned from the Toxic Spikes, not from the Umbreon. My apologies. I was busy kind of talking about the hurricanes and how it delayed us that I wasn't really paying attention to how the Gouging Fire got poisoned there. But anywho, so now we still have the Umbreon putting in that massive work, kind of walling out these physical attackers, such as the Ogerpon and the Gouging Fire. Here comes Oricorio. Oricorio gets the Air Slash. But no flinch, and Foul Play is not quite enough to take it out. I think another Air Slash will be able to take out this Umbreon. It does. It goes down. But honestly, this Regieleki should be able to come right back, and yep, there it is. Game 1 goes to Seattle 3-0. Let's go ahead and get into game number 2. All right, game number 2. We've got a Tinkaton Gouging Fire lead with an Air Balloon, and we got the Photosynthesis boosting the defense once again. We're going to see how, if this works out any better for Midvalley this time around. Goes for the Earthquake. Oh, Headlong Rush, and that is doing massive damage in spite of the Photosynthesis boost, but we're going to go ahead and switch out and go right back into Tinkaton, who still has the balloon intact. But it does not matter. They got predicted and goes for the Flare Blitz, taking out the Tinkaton, but also taking itself out in the process due to the Flare Blitz recoil. It is 5-5. Now we got Regieleki and Azumarill, who immediately switches out into Vikavolt. And we see a physical Regieleki with the Supercell Slam. Okay. And we see a Volt Switch as well, but you don't see Supercell Slam on Regieleki all that often. We see a Bug Buzz come on from the Vikavolt. And we see a knockoff from the Great Tusk knocking off that Assault Vest, but it will go down to an Energy Ball. So right now, Midvalley looks like he's got a pretty commanding lead here. Regieleki going for the Acrobatics, but not quite enough to take it out. Probably would have been better off going for the Supercell Slam, but maybe expected a switch. So it will go down to the Bug Buzz. The Umbreon will go ahead and Terra Fairy here, take out the Vikavolt on what little chip it had left. But knowing it doesn't really want to stay in on the King Gambit, knowing what this thing can do, goes into Volcanion instead, and goes to the Will-O-Wisp into the Azumarill, does get the burn. I don't know if Azumarill really had much to go into the Volcanion anyway. Oh, we see a Belly Drum. It does kind of circumvent the burn, but will it matter? No, Azumarill not quite going down to the Earth Power, but will go down to the burn from the Will-O-Wisp. It is now 3-3. Here comes Ogerpon. And Volcanion gets down to just a smidge and not quite enough on the Ivy Cudgel there. But the Will-O-Wisp will miss, and an Ivy Cudgel will take it out on the back end. Now all that's left is Tentacruel and Umbreon, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's going to be enough to amount to a comeback here. I think this might be a Mid-Valley game, but we will see. Anything can happen in the game of Pokemon. We're trying to get some lefties recovery here, hopefully trying to outlive these Ivy Cudgels. Yep, Foul Play is enough to take out the Umbreon, but I still think that the King Gambit is not, or that King Gambit is really going to give her trouble with what's left on her team. Not to mention we got the Supreme Overlord with 4 Fallen Comrades, which is almost a Choice Band boost. So, and Foul Play is just not doing the damage it needs to do. Iron Head will be enough to take it out. And then, yeah, that looks like it's going to be all she wrote. Tentacruel can't even Terra into a ground type to even try to mount some sort of comeback here. So we're probably looking at a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a Black Glasses King Gambit. That's good to know. At this point, she knows she's pretty much lost. She's just setting up Toxic Spikes. I guess that's her way of conceding. And there is the game. All right, let's get into a game number. All right, game 3. Gouging Fire versus Regieleki. So I'll be honest with you, this is not going to favor too well in the Regieleki's case. But here comes the Umbreon to pretty much wall this Gouging Fire here. We've already seen the first 2 games how it's kind of able to handle it, especially with Foul Play support. Just being able to take full advantage of the boost that it's getting from Dragon Dances. And now at this point, the Umbreon just has to protect. Yep, and it will go down to Toxic Poison. So she's had a really good handle on this Gouging Fire pretty much the entire match, not really allowing it to do much of anything. But here comes Vikavolt, who has been phenomenal this season. I'm pretty sure Vikavolt is actually Mid-Valley's kill leader, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Vikavolt really doing that work. And it's not hard to see why. I mean, it's got the bulk. It can run Assault Vest. It can do a bunch of different things. And here comes the Terra Ground on the Oricorio. And fun fact about Oricorio, and I'm not sure why he's using Terra Blast, because fun fact, if you Terra Oricorio, Revelation Dance will become the type that you Terra into. So basically, whatever you Terra into, Revelation Dance will copy that Terra type. So you don't even need to run Terra Blast on it. Revelation Dance is Terra Dance. There's Terra Blast. I cannot speak English. I am sorry. I apologize for that. But yeah, Revelation Dance is basically Terra Blast. Is all I was trying to say. But Ogerpon going with the Horn Leech here to get itself back up to full, and its Sturdy will be intact. Ogerpon also doing pretty decently for itself this season. For the first 2 or 3 weeks, it did not succumb to a single death and dealt at least like 12 or 13 KOs in the first few weeks. So not too shabby on the Ogerpon's part. But here comes that Choice Scarf Great Tusk again. Not quite able to get over the Ogerpon, but is able to get into range where this Regieleki might be able to take it out with the acrobatics. Yes. Physical Regieleki. I did not have that on my bingo card for this particular season or at all. But anyway, Volt Switch out on the Vikavolt, going into Tentacruel. And we see a Bug Buzz, which isn't going to do much. Terra Ground. Does she get predicted on that and go for... Does he go for the Energy Ball? No! Thunderbolt will hit absolutely nothing while she sets up more Toxic Spikes. Energy Ball will do just under half, 48%. And she will once again knock off that Assault Vest to try to get this thing in a range where it's easier to kill. But it's still pretty even though Midvalley is dealing with multiple hazards, and we got this Volcanion here looking pretty healthy, and this Azumarill really can't touch it because it resists Play Rough and it's immune to all of its water stabs, so I don't really know what this Azumarill can really do, to be honest with you. I guess Knockoff works. But once the Heavy Duty Boots are knocked off, it's not going to be doing as much damage, so I don't know. Another Earth Power coming out from the Volcania here, just trying to get a little chip. Play Rough, not going to be doing a whole lot. And the Poison is just racking up damage as well. And, yep, Volcania will take it down the Azumarill with an Earth Power. And it's still not over yet, though. The Kingambit does have 5 fallen comrades. Ooh, and the Flamethrower is not enough. It's not enough to take it out. Okay, this Midvalley might make a comeback here. Sucker Punch takes out the Volcanion, and all he has to do is Sucker Punch the Regieleki, and it's game over. Oh, but Regieleki has the extreme speed, and it is enough to take it down. That is the conclusion of this match. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys in Week 7. Peace out, guys.